Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Hooray, hooray. Good to see every single one of you. I'm so glad you could make it in here. Cynthia, retired firefighter number 42. See you in the morning. Good to see you. Glad you can make it. Hello, Ghost. How you doing? See you. Almost that time of day for your daily dose of fun and laughter. Be kind to others and enjoy the ride. Good to see you, JD. Glad you could make it in. JW, nice. Glad you could make it in. Oh my, oh my. Melanie Beeman, how are you doing? So good to see you. Hey, Zach, good morning. Good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful morning and getting the well needed rest all of you fine folks need. Hey, K. Marshall, good morning. Puddletown, good to see you. Good to see you. Oh my gosh. Hey, Elk. Iki, I think is what that's right. I can never say this right. It's good to see you. Hey, how you doing? Again, Zach. Yes, Risa, good morning. Good morning. Happy hump day. That is right. Today is hump day. It's gonna be another one of those days that you just go, you shake your head and you go, really? This is just my morning, huh? It's like this bumbling fool got got more information. Yeah, that bumbling fool. Harvey Weinstein whatever, is to return to court on Wednesday after so he's back in court on Wednesday today for his first appearance since the appeals court last week overturned his 2020 raping conviction and ordered a new trial. The preliminary hearing in Manhattan is expected to include discussion of evidence, scheduling, and other matters, according to Weinstein's attorney. Adelia said Weinstein will attend the hearing despite the 72-year-old having been hospitalized since shortly after his return to the city jail system on Friday from an upstate prison. He said Weinstein, who has cardiac issues and diabetes, was undergoing specific tests due to his health issues. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office has said it is determined to retry the case against Weinstein. That may be a long road and come down to whether the women he's accused of assaulting are willing to testify again. One of the women, Mimi Haley, said Friday she is still considering whether she would testify at any retrial. Adelia said Saturday that he plans to tell the judge that he believes the trial could occur anytime after Labor Day. So this once powerful studio boss was also convicted in Los Angeles in 2022 of another raping, is still sentenced to another 16 years in prison in California. The New York case is now overturned. He was convicted of raping in the third degree for an attack on an inspiring actor in 2013 and forcing himself on Haley, a former Project Runway production assistant in 2006. Weinstein pleaded not guilty and maintained any sexual activity was consensual. The Associated Press does not generally identify people alleging SA unless they consent to be named, as Haley has. On Thursday, the New York Court of Appeals vacated his conviction on a 4-3 decision, erasing his 23-year prison sentence after concluding a trial judge permitted jurors to see and hear too much evidence not directly related to what he was charged with. Wow, that's amazing. It's amazing that they let that kind of crap happen. You would think they would want to have all their I's dotted, all their T's crossed, but apparently they did not do that. That's not good. The ruling shocked and disappointed women who celebrated historic gains during the era of the #MeToo, a movement that ushered a wave of sexual misconduct claims in Hollywood and beyond, and really drove things to a bad position for men everywhere. And I'm not saying that, that SA is not bad, or graping, or any of that other crap isn't bad. I'm just saying it got a little bit out of hand. One of those pendulum swings that we talked about here before. It's just, you don't want to have Elka. That's pronounced Elka. Sorry. Thank you. Elka, thank you very much. I appreciate you so much. And I will forget, because I am the worst with names and pronunciating and all that kind of stuff. I'm horrible with it. Melanie Beeman feeling a little lethargic, but doing okay. That's good. That's good. Good morning. We'll get some coffee and a little love there, JD fan. Oh, I'll brag. Better prosecute. Yeah, they'll prosecute. They'll go after him. Sleazetown, yes, dude is definitely sleazy as all get out. He is definitely sleazy as all get out. Rock Spider is what we call them in Australia. Nice. Got coffee working on the smiles. How are you guys? Have a wonderful day. Be right back. Going to Mother Page to push the like button. Aw. Melly Comer, good morning. Come here. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Good morning. Good morning to y'all. Good morning, Tammy Bugard. It's wonderful. It is sort of sad that, this guy right here. Yeah, he's probably going to get like that Bill Cosby treatment where they're just like, yeah, he's too old, whatever. But my outlook on all of this was if because I didn't watch all of what was going on with it, but it appears to me that he was using his position to say, hey, if you want to advance, come over here, show this nasty old decrepit man a good time, and we'll advance your career. That's just wrong. He shouldn't be doing that. That's bad. But they also did that willingly. It's skeezy, and this is sort of shows that dark underbelly of what Hollywood is about, and why you'll see a lot of these women, he's just the one that got caught. You think that it stopped happening because he's the one that got caught? No, now they just go about it a different way. What goes around comes around, and I will tell you, it's going to be. It's not that he should be. I don't think he should be free because, like I said, I think he's a skeezy old bastard. I'm just saying that it makes it a little more difficult on the ones that are truly, being attacked, to have them come forward. Especially if he is set free, it really is going to be a big slap in the face to all of those that had bad things happen to them. You'll do fine. Yes, you'll do fine, Timmy. Good morning, new day, new month, and have a great one. That's right. It is April 1st. Wow, you know what that means? No, March, April, May. Yeah, May 1st. Yeah, there you go. I am so lost. I didn't even realize it's already May. So later this month, they will be doing the Dollywood. That's going to be going on. You'll have all of the fine people getting together at Dollywood, having out. There'll be Friday Night Live over there. It's going to be awesome as all get out. Oh, thank you, Gone to the Dogs. Good morning. Gone to the Dogs has become a YouTube member. Thank you so much. Thank you. King Paco, I just pushed the like button. Tube Town coming, Otter Creek Gaming. Woohoo! Awesome. I love it. I always thought that was a little bit funny. Tube Town is coming. Yeah, nobody's coming for you. It's just us. Just us talking about it. We'll get to the main meat of the story here shortly, but we're working our way up to this. So don't mind me too much. Where is it? Thought I had it right here. Nope. Here it is. I thought I had it pulled up here. It's U.S. poised to ease restrictions on the wacky weed in historic shift, but it'll remain a controlled substance. So what does this mean? We will move to reclassify the marijuana as a less dangerous drug. The Associated Press has learned a historic shift to generations of American drug policy that could have wide ripple effects across the country. The proposal which still must be reviewed by the White House Office of Management and Budget, would recognize the medical uses of cannabis and acknowledge it has less potential for abuse than some of the nation's most dangerous drugs. However, it would not legalize marijuana outright for recreational use. The agency's move confirmed to the AP on Tuesday by 5 people familiar with the matter who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss the sensitive regulatory reviews, clears their last significant regulatory hurdle before the agency's biggest policy change in more than 50 years can take effect. Since OMB signs off, the DEA will take public comment on the plan to move the Mary Jane from its current classification as a Schedule 1 drug alongside heroin and LSD. It moves depart to Schedule 3 alongside ketamine and some anabolic steroids, following a recommendation from the Federal Health and Human Services Department. After the public comment period by review by administrative judge, the agency would eventually publish the final rule. Today, the Attorney General circulated a proposal to classify marijuana from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. Justice Department Director of Public Affairs, Yoko Hokinoshi, or whatever his name is, said in a statement, the DEA is a component of the Department of Justice. Once published by the Federal Register, it will initiate a formal rulemaking process as prescribed by Congress in the Controlled Substances Act. Attorney General Merrick Garland's signature throws the full weight of the Justice Department behind the move and appears to signal its importance to the Biden administration. Ooh. It comes after Joe Biden called for a review of federal Mary Jane laws in October 22 and moved to pardon thousands of Americans convicted federally of simple possession of the drug. He has also called on governors, local leaders to take similar steps to eliminate the Mary Jane convictions. Oh, Ray, are you the designated bail bondsman? No, I don't know. I don't know anything about bail bonds. Hit the thumbs up on your way in. Awesome. Hey, Rare Aussie. Good evening. Happy people. Good evening. Good to see you, man. How do you, Tammy? My caffeine's not working yet. I don't think that's a wise idea. You just don't know what people lace that stuff with. Well, you know. You're not alone. Schedule 3 over the counter. No, but you can get it with like a prescription. That's basically what it is. I mean, it's not like you can just go and buy, like Advil would be over the counter. Schedule 3, you would still have to have a prescription for it, and it would still be illegal. You just need this subscriber. I just need this subscriber. I love it. Let's see. Pardon thousands of Americans convicted federally of simple possession of the drug. Well, and see, there's where you run into the problem. Is if they were, there's a possibility that they had the drug, but he's also said some pretty crass things about the people that have had those, and especially his vice president in California was still keeping people there incarcerated so she could keep them working the fire lines, is putting out fires in California. Yeah, I wonder how that's going to look with her. Yeah, she wouldn't release people from prison until after the fires in California. She had overexuberant and really harsh penalties for people. Pretty cold. Yeah, so and I think those guys will probably remember this, and that kind of word gets around. Now, does that mean they'll get their right to vote back? I don't know, because that could be a long legal process for them. A very long legal process. So criminal records for the Mary Jane use and possession have imposed needless barriers to employment, housing, educational opportunities. Okay. Biden said in December, too many lives have been upended because of our failed approach to the Mary Jane. But you've always been proponent to putting people in jail. So I don't understand what the thing is. It's time that we right these wrongs. You have no idea what you're talking about, man. This is the bad part about not being cognizant enough to write your own speeches. Biden and a growing number of lawmakers from both major political parties have been pushing for the DEA decision as marijuana has become increasingly decriminalized and accepted, particularly by younger people. Yeah, just keep them high. Why not? The DEA did not respond to repeated requests for comment. Well, of course, why would they? They don't have to respond to anybody. They don't have to respond to news. They don't have to respond to me. They can do as they wish. They could come and possess your entire home just if they found a marijuana plant growing in your backyard or on your property. They could come and confiscate your entire property, and then they could sell it off however they wanted to. And then with that money, they could fund themselves, and then they could find another marijuana plant on your property and sell it off, and just do that in perpetuity. Yeah, they're not the nicest people. You have to remember the DEA is like a box of chocolates. They'll both kill your dog. Schedule 3 drugs are still controlled substances and subject to rules and regulations, and people who traffic in them without permission could still face federal criminal prosecution. Some critics argue the DEA shouldn't change course on the Mary Jane, saying rescheduling isn't necessary but could lead to harmful side effects. Jack Riley, a former deputy administrator of the DEA, said whatever, had concerns on the proposed change because he thinks the Mary Jane remains a possible gateway drug, one that may lead to the use of other drugs. Don't know. I'm not a doctor, not a scientist, don't know anything about that. But in terms of us getting cleared to use our resources to combat other major drugs, that's a positive, Riley said, noting that fentanyl alone accounts for more than 100,000 deaths in the U.S. year. And driving a vehicle causes even more. Like there's more vehicle deaths per year than just, any drug that they've got out there. Unless you're like taking the jib jab. In other ends of the spectrum, others argue Mary Jane should be treated the way that alcohol is. Well, of course, because that way they could tax the ever-living bejesus out of it. They can get you for CBD oil in some states, yes, and in some countries. But then, of course, if you're a NBA basketball player or WNBA basketball player, you can be sent back home after spending the night in jail, and they'll give you like what's considered the butcher of whatever country he was from. Oh, well, they tried to criminalize. Well, they are trying to criminalize cars. No, they should criminalize the people behind the wheels that are doing the deleting. It's an inanimate object. Just saying. While this rescheduling announcement is a historic step forward, I remain strongly committed to continuing to work on legislation like the Safer Banking Act. What does that have to do with anything? And the Cannabis Administrative Opportunity Act, which federally deschedules cannabis by removing it from the Controlled Substances Act, says Chuck Schumer, Congress must do everything we can to end the federal prohibition on cannabis and address longstanding harms caused by the war on drugs. Yeah, but you guys voted for this stuff in the first place. You were all about stopping the druggies. That's helped fuel fast growth in the Mary Jane industry, an estimated worth of nearly $30 billion. Easing federal regulations could reduce the tax burden that can be 70% more for businesses. Not true. It just means that they will tax you, the people, me, even more. And then they'll complain and say, oh, all these big marijuana businesses, they're profiting. We should tax them more. Only 42,000 traffic deaths per year in the U.S. Well, call me wrong. Thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate it. Love it whenever people fact check me. That's awesome. The plants are similar in leaf and even seeds. This was in Georgia. Oh, okay. Sorry. Years ago, there was a man who cops came in, arrested a guy for growing what they thought was MJ, but was Shoal Creek chase plants. Media called them butterfly bushes. Not the same. Well, I have plenty of butterfly bushes in my backyard growing. Another last ditch effort to win votes by pandering to their base, much like what they did to Title IX. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Title IX is dead now. They've destroyed that. Critics point out that as a Schedule III drug, Mary Jane would remain regulated by the DEA, and that means roughly 15,000 cannabis dispensaries in the U.S. would have to register with the DEA like regular pharmacies and fulfill strict reporting requirements, something that they are loath to do and that the DEA is ill-equipped to handle. Then there's United States international treaty obligations. Chief among them is the 1961 Single Convention on Narcotic Drugs, which requires the decriminalization of cannabis in 2016. During the Obama administration, DEA cites the U.S. international obligations in the findings of the Federal Court of Appeals in Washington in denying a similar request to reschedule the Mary Jane. So it is a tough uphill battle. Do not expect that it's going to be legalized anytime soon. We do not have a problem anymore than a pew pew problem. It's a people problem. Exactly. Well, if they can't get you one way, they'll get you the other. Good morning. Good morning. Maybe DA should be concerned with drugs crossing borders. Let states handle the rest how they see fit. That is always a possibility. But on a federal level, they like that control. They love that control. Well, and as I said, I was gonna bring up this kind of information here, which is a little bit creepy. I'm not sure how I should approach this one because it's hard to explain. Where is it? Oh, okay. I just got distracted because there's so many different ways of looking at this, and we're going to see if we can hit it in some of the best ways. First we'll give you the misinformation here, which we like to notice it pretty much. So here's the misinformation. Trump comparison of student protests to January 6th is part of an effort to downplay Capitol attack. Or maybe it's a way of pointing out the left's hypocrisy. It's something to consider. Something to consider that maybe it's just calling out the left's hypocrisy. And so here is what they say. Trump on Tuesday lamented the possibility that Columbia University's pro-Palestinian protesters could be treated more leniently than the rioters who stormed the U.S. Capitol, which they will be, of course. We already know that's true. How is that giving any bad information here? Oh, except the AP can't report it like that. They have to make it Trump bad, Orange Man bad, of course. Marking a second time in a week, the former president has invoked the ongoing campus protest to downplay it. He's not downplaying, he's pointing out the left's hypocrisy. Speaking in the hallway outside Manhattan courtroom where his criminal trial is taking place, Trump questioned whether student demonstrators who seized the barricaded campus building early Tuesday seized a campus building. They seized a campus building, allowing people to not continue with regular business. Some of them vandalizing it in the process would be treated the same way as his supporters. He asked, would you be treating them the same as his supporters that you claim of attacking the Capitol on January 6th? And some of them were not even there. Those same people. Would you treat them the same way? Good morning, Jordan. Oh, yeah. Good to see you, Cindy Snyder. Lynn Dalton, good to see you. Gathering Nuts. Awesome. You like it? It's different because is one federal property versus universities. One is federal property versus universities. Yeah. Yeah. Good morning, Mary Waltz. Yes, you could consider it that way too. But still attacking and vandalizing a building is no different. Like I said, all the people that were trespassing and causing damage to the building should be arrested and charged with trespassing and damaging the building. But when they've been in prison for over 4 years and been moved from prison to prison, or they've been locked up in solitary confinement. Yeah. Some of them still haven't even had their day in court. Imagine that. It's a way of telling people do not go up against your government. Now, going into a college campus where they're trying to do business, that's a little bit different. Just saying. Trump questioned whether student demonstrators who seized and barricaded the campus building, some of them vandalizing it. I think I can give you the right answer, and that's why people have lost faith in our court system. Well, it should have nothing to do with the court system, but they should still be, hauled out of there and moved away. Trump's remarks demonstrate anew how he and Republican Party have tried to minimize the deadliest assault on the seat of American power in over 200 years. That's not what he's saying. His comments as he runs to reclaim the White House, juggling charges in 4 separate criminal bogus cases. They promote his position that the charges are being orchestrated by Democrats who keep him out of the White House, and that he and his supporters are targets of political persecution by fundamentally corrupt justice system. Well, no, it's just that they can do it. They took over a building. That's a big deal. Whereas in January 6th, they did not take over the building. They just wanted to go in and have their redresses addressed. They went to redress their government, but they're not allowed to do that. Good morning, Amos girl. Good to see you. That is far from what he's saying. Oh, I know. More than 1,350 people have been charged with capital. Oh, wow. Look at that. 1,350 people have been charged with the Capitol riot related federal crimes. Okay. Over 800 of them have been sentenced, with roughly 2/3 receiving terms of imprisonment ranging from a few days to 22 years. And why don't you dig into this a little bit more, and you'll see that a lot of that's absolute BS. Legal scholars of political science say that Trump's strategy could help his campaign, but point out the stark differences between the two. College students have gathered in encampments in Columbia and other campuses, call for a ceasefire and demand that universities cut financial ties to Israel. Well, you can do that peacefully. You can do it off campus, and you do not have to attack people. Oh, yes, they are attacking people, by the way. The Columbia protests are not aimed at stopping the peaceful transition of power following elections, so they do not threaten the functioning of U.S. democracy, said Richard Hassan, an expert in election law. Well, if you're an expert in election law, then you should have nothing to say about this whatsoever. I doubt it. Hakeem Jefferson, an assistant professor of political science at Stanford University, said the demonstrations at Columbia building that also occupied during the civil rights protests in the 60s, completely different shit, reflect a long tradition of college students pushing on the conscience of their country. No, that's not what that's about. This is a tradition of protest, disruptive to be sure, annoying to a university administrators, no, violent to be positive. There is no tradition that the American history is unprecedented, why we should, of course, treat it differently. But you should treat it the same way. Legal experts say the term insurrection has, no one said they were doing insurrection. That's the problem. This is not what he said at all. Last week, he claimed in 2017 rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, where torch-wielding white supremacists chanted. That is not what he said it was at all. What he tried to explain to all those that probably don't know, the little thing in Charlottesville was because they wanted to tear down statues. And then you had some rabble rousers that got in there to use that as an opportunity to promote some extra BS that they shouldn't have done. And in doing so, they got some white supremacist all freaking worked up and decided to drive his car through a crowd of people and ended up killing some young lady that, was there to tear down statues. So there you go. But we don't talk about that. He turned to the reference and comment outside Tuesday saying Charlottesville is peanuts compared to what you're looking at now. One, we'll just give you an idea of the way their peaceful protests were happening there. We just give you a little look of their peaceful protests. This one is in Tampa. These were their peaceful protests, of course. Let's see this one right here. This is their peaceful protest.
If you choose to stay.
Yeah.
You fucking nuts!
Yeah, this is their peaceful protest. Yeah, this is how you treat them. They've asked you to leave.
This is insane. Look at the tear gas. That
Oh,
is
yeah.
the tear gas. Oh my god, this is
Oh my
insane.
god, it's so insane. They don't care. Just trying to create some love. Yep.
Look at them just running away.
Yep.
Yeah, where are we going now?
Yeah, those
huh?
rubber bullets sting.
Oh, that's good. Dude, I called it.
Everybody's out there with their cell
like
phone.
Tear gas, smoke gas.
This is their peaceful protest here.
It's tear gas.
We probably should move.
Hilarious as all get out. Yeah, that's their peacefulness. So sick of it. So sick of the idiots. Yeah, there's nothing much you could do about it. The guy had blinders on. Yes. Oh, Volstorm perpetual protesters for life. They don't even care what they're protesting. Well, and they're paid. They're paid to be there. That's the thing about it. They're paid to be there. And of course, this is provided by one of your favorite people here. This is provided by Volstorm. Thank you, Volstorm, for finding this.
Why
What
should
are
the
Vlad's
university
next steps?
be obligated to provide food to people who've taken over a building?
Well, first of all, we're saying that they're obligated to provide food to students who pay for a meal plan here.
No, they're not obligated to give you shit because you are no longer a student. You are now a boil on the skin of society. You've attacked a building and taken it over. So they don't owe you shit except for handcuffs and lead you out and say you're suspended. Effective immediately.
But you mentioned that there was a request that food and water be brought in, unless I misunderstood.
To allow it to be brought in, I mean, well, I guess it's ultimately a question of what kind of community and obligation Columbia feels it has to its students.
But you're no longer students. You gave up that ability to be a student whenever you told them to F off. You already said you're protesting, you said that you're protesting them and that you want them to stop funding. So part of the protest is you're no longer a student. Now you're a protester. So you can't have it both ways. Either you're a student or you're a protester. If you don't like the way school is running their business, then see you bye. You're no longer a student. Now you're just a trespasser.
Do you want students to die of dehydration?
If you were a student, no. But you're not a student. And I doubt you're going to die of dehydration because I'm sure that building has running water to it. Go drink out of a toilet. I don't care.
Hydration and starvation, or get severely ill, even if they...
Go, please do. Go get severely ill because you've been there for what, one day? They're not obligated to provide you with jack squat. Well, they'll come out whenever they get hungry.
They disagree with you. If the answer is no, then you should allow basic, I mean, it's crazy to say because we're on an Ivy League campus, but this is like basic humanitarian aid we're asking for.
Humanitarian aid? No. Go F off. Did the university DoorDash these kids? Normally you get off your rear and go to where the food is. Yeah, usually. I say let natural selection win this one. Yeah. I'm in agreement. Natural selection will work really well.
Or like, could people please have a glass of water?
But they,
No. You want to be tucked in too? Like they told you to disperse, get the hell out of here, go away. Yet you took over a campus building. And oh, you're so brave and bold.
they did put themselves in that very deliberately in that situation and in that position. So it seems like you're sort of saying, we want to be revolutionaries, we want to take over this building. Now would you please bring us food and water? And
Nobody's asking them to bring anything. We're
Yes, you are. You said you're so revolutionary, and now you're asking for there should be feeding us. You're a terrorist organization. This is not a humanitarian effort. Exactly. They are terrorists. What? They are prisoners? No, they're terrorists. It's as simple as that. This lady's going to flip my switch and make me mean. Well, you don't have to worry about it because she's just an idiot. You just did ask. Domino's still delivers. There you go. Except they won't let Domino's in. They'll be like, no, they'll come out whenever they get hungry. Unless you're contained by authorities, no one is obligated to feed or water you. You have the freedom to leave to obtain nourishment. I take offense to the like humanitarian aid. They could fill up water bottles at the local fountain. They're inconvenience now. Except for this this fruitcake. I'm sorry. I couldn't help but notice the dude's like belly button down here. Like, dude, what kind of gay ass shit is that? I mean, just say, dude. You realize the people, the guys that you're protesting, you come showing up like this, they're gonna go, boy, we're throwing you off the closest building. We just want to see if you can fly. Oh my God, it's just so wrong, so wrong. Oh.
asking them to not violently stop us from bringing in basic humanitarian aid.
Oh no, they're going to stop you from bringing stuff in because you will come out whenever you get hungry or thirsty. I think he stole part of her scarf, or she did.
They're stopping the delivery of food.
We are looking for a commitment from them that they will not stop.
They can just go fuck off. How's that? That's what I would tell them. No, we are stopping any sort of food coming into this place. If you want to protest, you can bring your own food in. Or how about this? You do like they did back in the 60s, go on a hunger strike. But it hadn't even been 24 hours and you guys are already complaining about being hungry. And water. We need water. We're hungry. It's like, drink your own urine. How's that?
But they haven't stopped it.
Well, I don't know to what extent it has been attempted, but we're looking for a commitment.
and the grub-
No. Here's your commitment. My commitment is go F off. Where did my dogs rock? He got hungry, made his shirt. I don't know. So screwy. So damn screwy. Ah. And of course, here's where it gets even more interesting. Because these people are idiots. they have to say shit like this.
Anti-Semitism is a virus, and because the administration and woke university presidents aren't stepping in, we're seeing it spread. We have to act, and House Republicans will speak to this fateful moment with moral clarity. We really wish those in the White House would do the same. We will not allow anti-Semitism to thrive on campus, and we will hold these universities accountable for their failure to protect Jewish students on campus. And that's why today, We're here to announce a house-wide effort to crack down on anti-Semitism on college campuses. We got to get down to the bottom of it. We have to root it out. Congress has two really important responsibilities that will be fulfilled in this exercise. One is oversight, and that's a job that we have, and also, of course, the use of the power of the purse. We need accountability for those who cannot maintain order, will not protect innocent students on their campus, and will not get on top of the situations. What's happening on the campuses, though, especially these private and the Ivy League universities, is that they're not allowing law enforcement to come in. They're not inviting them to do their job and bring order to the chaos. Those are the policy changes that we're demanding, and if they don't correct this quickly, you will see Congress respond in kind. You're going to see funding sources begin to dry up. You're going to see every level of accountability that we can muster, and that's what this work of these committees and these fine chairpersons are going to be involved in. Anti-Semitism is a virus.
This is
because the administration,
the bullshit that you have to listen to. House Republicans on Tuesday announced an investigation into federal funding for universities where students have protested the Israel-Hamas war. Broadening the campaign has placed heavy scrutiny on how presidents at the nation's most prestigious colleges have dealt with reports of anti-Semitism on campuses. Several House committees will be tasked with a wide probe that ultimately threatens to withhold federal research grants and other government supports to university, placing another pressure point on the campus administrators who are struggling to manage pro-Palestinian encampments and blah, blah. We will not allow anti-Semitism to thrive on campus, of course, but they will. Republicans are also turning to the issue at a time when election season is fully underway, and well, that just shows you that they really don't care. Whenever they have to use it for political gains, they really don't care. Like in Ribeye, Shizzy. Thank you very much, Zach. I appreciate you. She sounds like the shrill women on a date. I don't want anything. I just want a commitment. Exactly. Get to the bottom of it. They know damn well what's causing this crap. Exactly, JD fan. So-called peaceful protests, students that are part of that should lose all financial aid and be disqualified for financial aid in the future. F them. Exactly. Sorry about the caps. My phone is being stupid. Don't you worry about it. I don't get stressed. It may kick it back if it's all caps, but that's a YouTube thing. That's not me. It does happen. It just the stupidity of these people. It is quite amazing. Like here's this crap right here.
Hold the line now, hold the line. Hold it down.
Yeah, these are your peaceful protesters. Yeah. Mute the music because Stein posted a video of herself being arrested. Of course, she was charged with assaulting a police officer. Yes. And Stein spent 7 hours in jail, and then she went on to another event to protest some more. Yeah. It's a bullshit statement. That's all they're doing. But the rest of them, they'll spend a few hours there, and then they'll go somewhere else. It will just be a constant, ongoing attack, fight, attack, and they'll bounce back and forth. It'll be a good thing, it'll be a bad thing, it'll be horrible. And then, of course, student protesters reach a deal with the Northwestern University that sparks criticism from all sides. Oh, look. All the bottled water just left alone there. What happened? They got their little flags up. It is like the summer of love. Oh, all the chairs, all the bottles of water. Evanston, Illinois. On April 30th, the day after the university and protesters organized, announced an agreement which largely ended in anti-war demonstrations that have lasted for days, because every single one of these students should have been dealt with in the proper way. Just grow the beard back. Damn, you scare me when you see that. It's growing back. It'll be, give it a couple of weeks. It'll be back to normal. I have a question. Are your government funding them over here? Or we've just heard that on one of our academics is getting government funding. No, they are getting government funding for, well, actually it's outside people, outside people that are funding these protests. But if you're talking about, does the government fund their university? In some states, they defray some of the costs, but it's not fully funded. Like in-state tuition is a thing where, the state will provide some funding or partial funding to it, but it's not completely funded by the federal government. But the federal government does donate to college campuses on a small amount. I mean, maybe within the billions. A small amount they might send to universities. A lot of their funding will come from like pharmaceutical companies to test drugs and to do research on different genetics and drugs and crap like that. Some of them will get funding from major news organizations to help like their journalism courses and crap like that. A lot of their funding comes from outside sources. And then plus they charge students exorbitant amounts of money to go to college. Like I want to say that one of my wife's colleagues, not coworker or anything like that, just one of her colleagues, his son managed to get, and I think in his junior year, no, his senior year, he was accepted into both UGA, Georgia Tech, and University of Alabama, I think. Is that right? I think it's University of Alabama. But he turned all of those away and decided to go to UT Austin. And that is going to be $80,000 a year. Like the lowest amount, $80,000 a year. And if he did in-state tuition, it would be a hell of a lot less. Plus, that's just for, I think that's like all in $80,000 a year. That's for like housing and books and all that other kind of crap. It's amazing how expensive it is. I have zero trust in journalism nowadays. Well, I mean, there is funding. Yep. Hey, you got it. A hoe got to eat, man. Don't be down on Soros. A hoe got to eat. So, Chicago, for 5 days, Northwestern University Deering Meadow rang with the shouts of student protesters and supporters joining demonstrations against, and here's the thing. If I was going to one of these colleges, I would be so disappointed because this is some like pedantic bullshit I wouldn't want to deal with. I would be so disappointed as a student if somebody pulled this kind of crap on my campus. And wanted me to take some sort of side. I was like, no, I came here to freaking learn, asshole. Like go the fuck away from me. By Tuesday morning, grassy meadow on northwestern suburb of Chicago campus was silent after the student organizers in school announced an agreement late Monday to curb protest activity in return for new advisory committee on university investment and other commitments. Oh, okay. Yep. On campus Tuesday, 2 unoccupied tents remain surrounded by abandoned folding chairs, cases of bottled water, and other supplies. Some who are protesting Diswad Gaza condemned the agreement as a failure to stick to the original demands of the student organizers. Some supporters of Israel said the deal represented cowardly capitulation to protesters. But then they did really good, because if both sides are unhappy, then you've reached a proper agreement. It's a chilly morning in Michigan. Well, be safe. Be safe. They are preventing students from going to class. That's why schools are cracking down on them. Well, or capitulating to them, one of the two. Silently over issues like shoelace colors. Good to see you, Keister. Good morning. Hey, Captain Kern. Good to see you. Glad you made it in. Hey, Christine. I just saw you there. It's this agreement lets protesters continue through June 1st, but bars all tents except for one for aid of supplies. They also prevent people without ties to Northwestern from participating and require school permission to use loudspeaker or similar devices. according to copies made by public and school student organizers. Basically, clear down. Northwestern's statement said it would enforce the deal, which includes possible penalties for students who did not comply, like suspension. This agreement represents a de-escalated path forward and enhances the safety of all members of the Northwestern's community while providing space for free expression that complies with the university's rules and policies. The American Jewish Committee and the Anti-Defamation League Midwest are among critics of Northwestern's administrators, arguing that the deal succumbed to the demands of a mob and did little to make the Jewish students on campus feel more secure. Around the country, protester organized universities say they're building a peaceful movement aimed at defending Palestine's rights and protesting the war. One of several groups that planned the anti-war protest at Northwestern was Jewish Voice for Peace. An Instagram post about the deal, protest organizers, and blah, 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 blah. We've been seeing incredible momentum grow in support of our movement these past few days and will not let it go to waste, said the Divestments Coalition's Instagram. Yeah, see, you're getting what you're giving, you're caving into what they want. Yeah, this is how they left their campus. Leave it for somebody else to clean up. I guess party's over. We're not letting up pressure on Northwestern because the people on this campus who feel unsafe have felt unsafe for years, and disclosure is not going to make them feel safe. It's not going to fix the problems that this university has cultivated. Yeah, they can go piss off. And you notice all of these tents. Somebody did a little bit of a dive on this yesterday. And from what they've been able to gather is these little tents that you're seeing right here, you can only buy these in bulk. Like, you can't just go and purchase them. And they're like $80 a pop. Each one of those tents is about $80 each. And you can only buy them in bulk. 44 in Colorado. Ooh, that's chilly. 64 here. Yeah, I don't know what the temperature is here right now. It's currently 57 here in Atlanta. Yeah, they've basically, we're not letting Johns Hopkins shut down our encampment. They wrote on a social media post, we are still here. Yeah. Go ahead. See, I'll tell you what, go ahead and attack Johns Hopkins. Like really do that. That's going to really work out for you. Yeah, whenever you've got, just have fun. Just saying, have fun. Good Lord. My browser's acting funky again. Dueling protesters class at UCLA after police clear pro-Palestinian demonstrations at Columbia. Well, let's see what this looks like here. Oh, look.
I'm here on Columbia's campus where New York police cleared an administrative building that had been taken over by pro-Palestinian demonstrators earlier Tuesday. Hundreds of police, many of them in riot gear, arrived on campus shortly before 9 p.m.
This is what
they
you do.
They accessed the building through a second-story window, climbing on a ladder truck. Inside, police said there were about 30 or 40 protesters who were taken into custody. Dozens more have been arrested for protesting the police response. Police said they also cleared an encampment, which had been set up by students and inspired a wave of demonstrations across the country. No one has been injured, according to a
they were so
spokesperson.
inspiring.
The school said that they were forced to call in police because the occupation had put students at risk. Columbia University president said she had asked police to remain on campus through graduation next month.
This is what you got to do. That's what you have to do with these fools. Dueling groups of protesters clashed Wednesday at the University of California, Los Angeles, grappling in fistfights, shoving and kicking and using sticks to beat one another. Hours earlier, police burst into the building at Columbia University that the protesters took up over the demonstration that had paralyzed the school while inspiring others. After a couple of hours of scuffles between terrorists and terrorists, the demonstrators at UCLA police wearing helmets and face shields formed lines and slowly separated the groups. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I just had to have a little fun with that. After a couple hours of scuffles between the pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli demonstrators at UCL, police wearing helmets and face shields formed lines and slowly separated the groups. That appeared to quell the violence. Go figure. Whenever you separate a bunch of petulant brats, it does tend to chill the violence. Well, barely. They'll barely do their jobs. I went to college for 4 years, but didn't get a degree. I need major in protest, though I should be eligible for the job, right? Yeah, there you go. Oh my gosh. Police have swept through campuses across the U.S. over the last 2 weeks in response to, well, they really didn't sweep through there. They just sort of like stood on the sidelines and watched as making sure that people didn't commit, crime. This is not a crime to demonstrate or protest. It is a crime to stop, progress of moving forward because of it. Oh, is Captain Curtis nowhere close to 1968 all over again? Nowhere close. No, nowhere close. As much as they accepted 1968, generation did not expect the university to bring them food. That's exactly it. Never been up. Always wanted to visit. So the protesters are calling for universities to stop doing business with Israel. That is what this is all about. They want to divest universities, and these are not people that go to the college campuses. The people that are starting all of this crap are not going to the college campuses. And of course, they have to add this in there because, well, it just wasn't enough for universities to stop doing business with Israel. Now we have to also say companies that support the war in Gaza. Okay. So if this is your idea of doing this, then almost every state in the United States needs to be protested. Every single campus, every single business, every single mom and pop business, every single one of your organizers' businesses, all businesses should cease to be free from these kinds of protests. Well, let me explain here. Those people supplying you your water bottles, well, somewhere in that supply chain, they're supporting Israel. Somewhere in that supply chain, they're showing support. Somewhere in that supply chain of those little tents that you're buying, they're supporting Israel. So why aren't you not buying their products? Oh, well, you can't stop buying everybody's product or protest every single thing. You can only protest the one thing that happens to be in front of your face, which just happens to look like about the shape of a big, huge dong. And you're just a pain in the damn ass because, well, it inconveniences you. Whenever it inconveniences you, the protests stop. It's amazing how that works. And it's sort of stupid. That you would sit there and, oh, well, we're going to confront businesses. You need to divest. You can't do this and that. No, they can do whatever the fuck they want to. And if you don't like it, well, tough shit. Go take your communist water bottles elsewhere. The one that does still also, promote Israel. Why don't you go talk to the plastic manufacturer or the oil company that brought you that plastic? So why don't you stop, buying the clothes that, were built, made by some, poor Israeli student sitting across campus, just barely making ends meet. I mean, something like this. You never really think about it, but, if you want to dig deep into it, somewhere along that pipeline, the people that you're protesting had something to do with what you're protesting against. Then these are the people that you think are supporting you. Wonderful, isn't it? There have been confrontations and more than 1,000 arrests. In rare instances, university officials and protest leaders struck agreements to restrict the disruption to campus life and upcoming commencement ceremonies. The clashes at UCLA took place around a tent encampment built by pro-Palestinian protesters. It takes, if you aren't in Gaza helping, you aren't helping. Take daddy's tuition and buy a plane ticket for your buffer year. There you go. That is a perfect idea. What's up, Farrell? I may think I might be stalking you. Well, we could end Israel aid overnight. It wouldn't change anything. Of course. Nothing would change. They would still be fighting. They've been fighting for thousands of years. They've been doing this fighting for thousands of years. It's not going to go away just because you stop providing aid to one side or the other. And you have to remember that we have an alliance with Israel. They are our ally. And because there is no Palestine, sucks to say, but there really is no Palestine, that we don't support them or recognize them. Same way as we don't recognize Ukraine as a country or as a part of the UN. Sorry, we do recognize them as a country, just not part of the UN. Hey, sounds good to me. They just don't tell Maddie. Just don't tell Maddie. Yes, it is silly and goofy that here's a perfect example. You know, some of you guys might be old enough to remember the rehash of the whole hippie movement, where all of a sudden kids were buying Birkenstocks and they were wandering around and they weren't really following the Grateful Dead anymore because they'd sort of not done as much, but they were more into following fish around and, oh, you know, we've got to protest all of the, you know, we need to go green and go, you know, we got to go hard, we got to go green, and, you know, all of technology needs to go down and technology is bad and all this technology. And then you look at them, you're like, wow, you're the ones that are sitting preaching about how bad technology is, playing on an acoustic guitar, singing through a PA system in a coffee house, and you're complaining about technology being bad. That's these people right here complaining about Israel and Hamas. It's no different. It's just something new to protest. Wish in one hand, take a crap in the other, see which one gets filled first. What did you do, Farrell? I hope you're keeping out of trouble. I don't know what I did. There was tequila involved. Well, that happens. This is the whole protest accomplishes nothing, even if they get everything. Exactly. That's all it is. Oh boy, now I'm sorry I missed it. You want to hear the Palestinians change their tone, stop all U.S. aid, taxpayers' money. Yeah. Yeah, stop sending any sort of humanitarian aid because they're just petulant children and they're not going to change the way that they're acting. It's not the season, allergy season, cicada season, cicada migration, some astrological time on a calendar. Well, you know, some women have that at least once a month. I'm almost caught up. You'll get there. Gila makes the clothes come off, or so I've heard. Yes, it does. You want to see what these universities to become? Go watch PCU. Yep. Great movie. Started 30 late. Don't worry about it. You'll get here. You'll get here eventually. The clashes at UCL took place around a tent encampment built by pro-Palestinian protesters who erected barricades and plywood for protection, while counter-protesters tried to pull them down. Videos show fireworks exploding over and in the encampment. People threw chairs at one point. A group piled on a person who lay on the ground, kicking and beating them with sticks until others pulled them out of the scrum. Now, here's the problem that they don't show you. The video showing the fireworks exploding over and in the encampment and the person who laid on the ground getting kicked and beaten, who he was or she was, or what side they were protesting. They will refuse to say that. Whenever they refuse to say it, you pretty much guess what side they're taking up on this, because AP is very much pro-Palestinian. They've made that very clear. The AP, the news organizations, just like they're very pro-Ukrainian. They've made it very clear where they stand on these. As you can tell by the way that they word things, you can tell what side of the political spectrum they're on as the way they word things. You can tell that they are very much on the side of the Biden administration. They see nothing wrong with a former president being held up on Trump charges or anything like that. You can tell by the way that they word these things what side of the spectrum they're on with this kind of bullshit. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass called the violence abhorrently, absolutely abhorrent, inexcusable in a spot on social media platform X, and said officers from Los Angeles Police Department were on the scene. Officers from the California Highway Patrol also would be there. University said it had requested help. Well, you guys let it get to this point. That's All I'm saying. Security was tightened Tuesday as a campus after officials said there were physical altercations between factions of protesters. Late that same day, New York City's officers entered Columbia's campus after the university requested help. Well, they should have done that a long time ago. I would bet we can prove that bottled water helps fund Israel somewhere and get them to stop buying bottled water for their protests. No. It would be washed away. No, you could prove all this kind of stuff. It doesn't fit their narrative. This is the problem with the protesters. You can show them absolute, unrefutable, undeniable truth, and it just. Have you ever tried to explain to a flat earther that the world is round? Seriously, they will argue to the point where they sound absolutely ridiculous. But they are so dedicated in their belief that anything that you try to say to them outside of their core beliefs, they will deny. It's no different than somebody that is so far up Trump's ass that they can't see the bullshit that surrounds him. Same way that someone is so far up Biden's ass can't see that, well, there's probably been a lot of things so far up his ass. They cannot see the actual trees through all of the wood that they've placed in front of it. It is insane that they refuse to look at things that are not so great about a person or a group or something that you have to stand up for. There's some whatever, happens to be the protest of the day. They don't see through the bullshit because they get so caught up in it. That's the bad part about this pendulum that is constantly swinging back and forth. If you can take a step back and go, yeah, Trump's an asshole. He does say a bunch of rude, horrible, crude shit. No, he was not the greatest president in the freaking world. Did some pretty good stuff, and he helped out our economy. He isn't the nicest person. He has his flaws. If you can step back and say that, then you can go, yeah, but what is he doing? What I'm expecting him to do? Is he reacting the way that he is? I would much rather have mean tweets any day and have my gas at $1.79 a gallon than this, whatever it is, $4 or whatever place you're in. I'm sure that you're starting to feel your gas like creep up. I hate seeing our economy being tanked, but it's something I've gotten used to. It happened during Obama. It happened during Clinton. It happened during Bush. It happened during every single presidency. Somewhere along the way, the economy tanks and gives you a crap. And I guarantee if Trump had still been in power, our economy would not have been any better. And you have to come to this realization that, our economy is doomed to have issues, and it has nothing to do with the president. Sure, they could have put a Band-Aid on it, made it a little bit smoother of a transition. But that was the thing that happened with Biden is they basically ripped off the Band-Aid and let it bleed like bad. I mean, it looked like they got smashed in the face by a stick. That's the Tea Party. I compare the Palestinian protest. Tea Party members were a scam to get Koch brothers a break. Exactly. Bubble wrap kids are at it again. Yeah, this is my problem with a lot of the politics. Is doesn't really matter what side of the campus you fall on here, what side you want to protest, what you want to protest, how you want to protest. Yes, it sucks both ways to Sunday, but you're also going to be disappointed if you think that that anything would have been better had Trump been elected. Could it have eased off the pressure for another year or two? Possibly. More than likely, wouldn't have the problems we're having at the border currently. We wouldn't have the bullshit going on with Ukraine. There's a lot of crap going on. We're actually asking decent questions, but because of their starting point, nobody takes the time to answer them and address the questions. Correct. Well, and that's what I'm saying is is always pretty crappy. Shissy's new story: when getting wood goes wrong. Well, and just so you guys know, the first couple of super chats that come in, make sure that you put on there what you would like the song to be about and what style you'd like to have it in, and we'll create the damn song for you guys. It'll be fun. You'll have a good time, because that's what we'll be doing at the end of this today. But right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some coffee. Be right back with some caffeine, and whenever I get back, it's going to be delicious, because I've got some more stuff for you. I got some more stuff that's gonna blow your mind. Well, I don't know about blow your mind, but it's gonna blow something. Sorry, that just sounds so bad. I think I'll probably just shut up and just like play the break for you. I'll be right back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Cute otter. Yeah, it is a cute otter. Oh, we're not done yet today. Okay, there we are not done by any long stretch. We got a little bit more. It's too early. Yeah, the other otter was Otter, and he's back. Yeah, that's what happens. I just show back up at the most random times. So after the university learned overnight that Hamilton Hall had been occupied, vandalized. Well, there you go. Vandalized, blockaded. We were left with no choice, the school said. The decision to reach out to NYPD was in response to the actions of the protesters, not cause they are championing. We have made it clear that life of campus cannot be endlessly interrupted by protesters who violate the rules and the law. Ow. And so they made their stand. How do you think this is going to work out for them? What are they saying in that musical interlude? Can't make it out. They're saying, ooh, yeah. Sends hugs to Captain Kern. Well, as you should. Captain Kern needs lots of hugs. Police spokesman Carlos Nivias said he had no immediate reports of any injuries. The arrest occurred after protesters shrugged off an earlier ultimatum to abandon the encampment Monday or be suspended and unfolded. Southern University stepped up efforts and demonstrations that were also inspired by Columbia. His name is Fabian Lugo. A first-year accountant student who said he was not involved in the protest says he opposed the university's decision to call the police. Well, how about first-year accounting student go F off? Doesn't matter what you think. I'll tell you what, whenever they attack you and slap you upside the head and start kicking and beating you on the ground, you're not going to care what side they're on. All that you're going to care is that the police are there removing them. This is too intense. It feels more like an escalation than a de-escalation. No, it's a show of force. Because if you hold their hand and are all nice to them, they will bite you. They are rabid little dogs. And yes, I'm comparing them to rabid dogs. You can't treat them kindly. If they would have handled this with the police in the first place and had their asses removed, you wouldn't have this issue. Don't treat terrorists nice. Don't hold their hands. Because whenever you hold their hands and you're all nice to them, what ends up happening is shit that we saw in the 70s. You will see students take over a plane and threaten to kill everybody on the plane. This is the kind of shit that happened in the 70s. Oh, people tend to forget about all of the little protests that happened in the 70s. Yeah. They forget that there was people being detained needlessly. Oh, and it wasn't just here. It was in other countries. They tend to forget about the attacks on federal buildings. They forget about the what was the guy's name? The Unabomber. They tend to forget about all of these kinds of things because, well, they just sort of get washed away because, well, we caught this Unabomber guy. Well, who is this Unabomber guy? And all this kind of crap. But they tend to forget a lot of this happened before they were even born. That's where they became notorious. I've been watching these protests for a while, and on X, the comments are all saying, going home to mommy's basement and having no support from us regular people. Exactly. Yeah, Ted Kaczynski. The embassy attacks worldwide. Yeah. Yeah. That's where this kind of shit leads. If you go, oh no, they have civil rights. No, they don't. You have to be civil to have civil rights. If you can't be civil, then you don't have any right for it to be given back to you. This is too intense. It feels like more of an escalation than a de-escalation. The escalation was caused by the students. Simple as that. Just blocks away from Columbia, the City College of New York, demonstrators were in a standoff with police outside the public college mains gate. Video posted on social media by news reporters on the scene late Tuesday showed officers putting some people to the ground and shoving others as they cleared people from the street and sidewalks. And they're lucky that it's not the National Guard. They're really lucky it's not the National Guard. They're lucky that it's the police that may not be completely equipped to handle it. I know that whenever I was in the National Guard, we had full riot gear. Full riot gear would be a baton, and we also were armed. Yes, armed with more than just that. The people that were on the front would have batons, and you would have riot shields, and you would be in full riot gear. And the way you would move a riot is you would basically move in one unified unit, and you would push them. If they didn't move, you would proceed to beat the ever-living snot out of them until they moved. That's the way that you handle a riot. You don't play with that bullshit. If you are moving people forward, you move them forward in the nicest way you possibly can, using noise and by using a shield wall. Exactly, a shield wall. There you go. Using a shield wall, you do that. You push them as fast and as forward as you possibly can, trying to keep them safe. But if they do attack you, at that moment, they lose their right because they have attacked a government official, whatever you want to call it, and you have every right to defend yourself, and you don't play. You will, if you need to, you drag them back in. and you allow the people that are behind you, because you're working as one unit, you've got people behind you that will pull them up, drag them towards the back, arrest them, probably let them run into a wall a few times, but you don't play with their bullshit. Jesse Westnut, Griftmasters Unite. Top of the scrungiest morning, y'all. Good to see you, Doc. It's good to see you, Doc. Of course, in my deranged mind, like, how many of those smelly protesters hooked up before the cops came? Well, you don't have to worry. They were probably sucking each other up. I mean, after police arrived, the officers lowered the bullshit flag atop the city college flagpole, which should be having an American flag on it. And kudos to the officers, because we are not a nation of Palestine. We always and never have been. They also forget about Jane Fonda. Yep. Oh yeah. People tend to forget about the bullshit that Jane Fonda did. And then here's a really cool thing, cool story. Whenever we had Turner Field here in Georgia, you had, Turner Field was in Atlanta, and part of the parking lot was the old Fulton County Stadium, and then across the street, from the old Fulton County Stadium, you had the Turner Field, and now it's out in Marietta or some crap like that. And they still call it the Atlanta Braves, but they're not in Atlanta. I mean, they're in Metro Atlanta. Of course, Metro Atlanta goes from Tennessee to Kentucky or whatever. It's fucking insane. But back in the day, you had Turner Field, and of course, Turner was, Fulton County Stadium was better. Actually, the new stadium out in Marietta is really, really big. It's pretty nice. I just don't like going into that part of the world. But the Turner Stadium, our boss for the pizza joint that I worked at had tickets that were, on the, I don't remember which side. I think it was on the home team side, like probably 3 or 4 rows up from where Jane Fonda would sit. Oh, dude, it was so fun just to sit there and make the most snide comments we could about Jane Fonda. Oh, we would have so much fun, Hanoi Jane, and people all around us, people that would be there would say the same thing. Nobody liked her there at all. I think she stopped coming to games because nobody liked her. Yeah, if they were doing the Star Spangled Banner, she would stand, but only because she knew that she would get chided if she didn't. True story. Grungy sex. Wash yourselves, hippies. No, these aren't hippies. These are worst. These are worse than hippies. Half will crumble into toddler meltdown by using the no. The rest will reassemble over the lack of cry closets. No, that's the worst part about it. Smell of smacks and patchouli oil wafting through the air. No, it's not even that. It's more like the smell of beans and curry. Brown University, another member of the Ivy League, reached an agreement Tuesday with protesters on its Rhode Island campus. Demonstrators said they would close their encampment in exchange for administrators taking a vote to consider divestment. No. How about no? You don't tell us how things are run. You consider that you will remove yourself or you'll be arrested. That's how it works. You don't negotiate with these terrorists. Simple as that. Turns out Ted didn't like Jane either. Well, yeah, I remember knowing Jane. Heard her speak once. Yep. Now I will say this, that she was pretty hot back in the day. I mean, you can't deny that Barbarella was pretty smoking there. And she was a pretty good actress too. But, don't like her politics or her bullshit idea of recommending support to the communists of Vietnam. Yeah, not a good look. Basically telling Vietnam vets to turn themselves in, calling them baby killers and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, not a good thing. Jane was pretty freaking pretty much a shit human being. I only take a bath once a month. These a-holes are just ridiculous. She even kept a guy on death row when the evidence proved him innocent. I don't know who you're talking about. Hey, Iron Rabbit, good to see you. Compare the beauty of Democrat women versus Republican women, young and old. I'll take the older Republican women any day over what happens to Democrat women. You know, and that I'm sorry. I just have to say that you're being tricked. I'm just saying that you're being tricked. It doesn't matter. Democrat, Republican, all women are beautiful. There you go. Their attitudes might be shit, but they're still beautiful. That was talking about our vice president. Oh, okay. Yeah. She would do that because it's more convenient for her. Are you behind? Yeah, it happens. Don't you worry. You know, selfie stick signal jammers are easy to make. Sorry, my chihuahua was typing. Yes, she enjoyed crapping on veterans, and it was gross. Yeah. Difference between women from the right and the left are the hairstyle as well as lack of beans. Well, true. Put down your beer googles, step away, shiz. No, like I said, women. I didn't say women, men that dress like women. I said women. First year student Braden Lang, watch from the sidelines. I still know very little about this conflict. Okay. Then go get studied up. Don't be an idiot. Really. Braden. I don't care if you know little about the conflict. Then go get studied up and don't buy into their bullshit. Nationwide campuses protests began at Columbia in response to Israel's offensive. That is not so. You're telling me that on October 7th, the people showed up in Columbia. Is that what you're saying? Because I don't remember seeing anybody in there on October 7th protesting. And it was a long winter. You know, it was cold. Michigan, you know, it was below freezing in some places, and they got a lot of snow. I don't remember seeing you guys there in Columbia. Or are we talking different state? Well, anyhow, don't remember hearing about you guys protesting. I do remember that you like to get out in the spring and protest. It's like you got nothing better to do. Got this spring fever because you've been sitting in your own festering, you know, mom and dad's basement for the whole, you know, winter. You're ready to get out, stretch your legs, stop. You're sick of jerking off to, you know, porn, and you really just got to get out of the house because, you know, the smell is killing you of all your dirty, you know, pecker snot rags. So what do? You go and you show up to a protest. So, hey, maybe you can get something that's warm and fresh and doesn't smell like, you know, your mother's cleaning detergents. So you show up to one of these protests. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know this for a fact, but this is sort of my thought on this is, you know, they got sick of like festering in their own bowel movements. Vowing to stamp out Hamas. Militants killed about 1,200 people, most of them civilians, and took roughly 250 hostages, vowing to stamp out Hamas, which they should. Israel has killed more than 34,000 Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, which according to this is still less than we have had in car deaths in the United States in a year. So, just saying, they're not doing bad. They all got pissed because they ran out of Hot Pockets and mom wouldn't get more. Yeah. OnStar, give me directions back to reality, please. Summer of Love 2.0, emphasis on summer. Poppy fields in Afghanistan. Yeah, I know. As ceasefire negotiations appeared to gain steam, It wasn't clear whether those talks would lead to an easing of protests. Well, let's put it this way. You fire rockets from a school, and then Israel responds by taking out the rockets, giving ample warning that they're about to fire rockets at this school. You might want to remove your students from this place because we are going to take out your rocket launchers. And then they leave the people in there because they don't care about their people. They use those as human shields. Israel and its supporters have branded the university protest as, well, why don't you put it this way? Israel and its supporters have correctly labeled the university protest as anti-Semitic, while Israel's critics say it uses those allegations to silence opposition. Although some protesters have been caught on camera making anti-Semitic remarks or violent threats, organizers of the protesters, some say who are Jewish, say it's a peaceful movement. I'm sure that some of them are being peaceful, but there's a lot of them that are being very anti-Semitic. And they are making threats of violence, which in most, polite societies would get you arrested right then and there. Yeah, there is freedom of speech, but whenever you're calling for violence on somebody else, those tend to go away. Those rights will be removed from you. There's a big difference. I guess they failed to understand this. So there were some good people there and some bad. Yeah. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Colombia's police action happened on the 56th anniversary of a similar move to quash an occupation of Hamilton Hall by students protesting racism and the Vietnam War. Completely different. The people that were protesting the Vietnam War were just protesting us being there without actually calling it a war. Because, as you know, we never declared war on Vietnam. That was a conflict. They called it the Vietnam conflict. They only recently start calling it a war because, well, that's what it was, but it was never officially a war. Same way with North Korea, never officially a war. We were there just to provide aid. This is why people are very hesitant, as they should be, about what's going on with Ukraine. They should be very hesitant about sending support there because of what they now like to call the Vietnam War. They call it this, but that's not what it used to be called. That right there used to be called the Vietnam conflict, because if they called it a war, that means that they had officially called it a war. We're just sort of in a ceasefire with Vietnam and North Korea. We've never actually gone away. No, like military action in Ukraine. Exactly. But if you get ice and pizza rolls dumped in your dunk, you're going to get a bit miffed. So if they thought you get rotten food, if ice cube melts, you get like H2O. Pretty cool. At least they're trying to push back against the agitators. Will give them that. Problem is that they empower them in the first place. Yes, that is exactly it. What was that? Here's a thought. Tell me if I'm wrong. The U.S. needs to stop being the world's police force. It would stop a lot of this nonsense. Yes. No. Possibly. Don't know. I mean, I would think that it would. If we would handle stuff here at home. No, then you would just have a bunch of bitchy, whiny little kids that, would be complaining that, they have to work. That's all that you would get. I think, forcing them into the service would be great. Like 4 years of civic duty really would put things into perspective. 4 years of civic duty. You want to go? You want to go to France? Well, guess what? We're gonna send you to Cambodia to do service for 4 years. What now am I doing in Cambodia? Hopefully getting malaria. But that's another story. Colombia's police action happened on the 56th. Anyhow, the police department earlier Tuesday said officers wouldn't enter the grounds without college administration's request or an imminent emergency. There you go. That's what they said. Now, law enforcement will be there through May 17th, the end of the university's commencement events. So, if you think that you saw a little bit of something happening now, it gets worse. Because for the next 17 days, these police officers are going to be on the very edge of their seats dealing with idiots. Hopefully, these little pro-protesters decide to move the hell on. But if they do come and they start causing problems for the commencement or graduation, guess what? Police will be having to step in. You're going to see a bunch of more rabble rousers, people bitching and moaning. Oh, there's being so mean against me. Here's a novel idea. Why don't you wait until after May 17th and all the students go home and then go protest? I mean, you'll have the campus all to yourself. It's not the way it works, but it's a nice thought. In a letter to senior NYPD officials, Columbia President, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name, said the administration had made the request that police remove protesters from the occupied building and nearby tent encampment with the utmost regret. Regurgitation. Yeah, these are horrible police shields. These are horrible police shields. Although they do have the riot gear on, I would not want to have one of these police shields. It doesn't protect enough of the body, and you'd be forced to do things. They also look like they're just a little bit heavier than they need to be. Anyhow, protesters set up the first tent encampment at Columbia almost 2 weeks ago. The school sent in police to clear the tents the following day, arresting more than 100 people only for the students to return. Well, that's because you only arrest them, and it was a catch and release. And as soon as they got arrested, they should have revoked their ability to ever return. Like as soon as they were arrested for this shit, because they were breaking the fucking law, they should have never been allowed to return back to campus. Like, we'll give you 15 minutes, one at a time, to clear your stuff out, but you're going to be loading it up. You're going to be loading up your car. And if you don't, then we will forcibly pick all your stuff up. We will donate it to the nearest homeless shelter, and you will not be allowed to return. We will confiscate your vehicle, whatever it is that we need to do, because of you doing criminal shit. Pretty simple. You could fund this whole thing. You basically take away mommy and daddy's car, auction it off, and whenever they say, well, you can't do that, it's like, well, actually, yes, we can, because you were breaking the effing law. You think you can't find a little bit of weed in one of these people's cars? Just saying. Negotiation between the protester college came to a standstill in recent days, and the school set a deadline for the activists to abandon the tent encampment Monday afternoon or be suspended. Instead, protesters defied the ultimatum. Well, it wasn't an ultimatum. It was, this is how it's going to be. They need to figure this out, and AP needs to start reporting this properly, because it was them saying, no, we're not going to allow you to disrupt our campuses. That ultimatum is, no, we're telling you how it's going to be. There's no choice in this. The ultimatum is you got two choices. You can either get your ass back to class or get the fuck off campus. How's that? Simple. Nobody was charged with insurrection. Well, nobody was charged with insurrection in any case. I knew being a broke parent had its upside. Exactly. Lana Lukowicz, a self-described leftist Zionist. Okay. Self-hate any? I don't know. Student at Columbia said it's been hard to concentrate on school for weeks. Her exams have been disrupted with chants of say it loud, say it clear, we want Zionists out of here. Yeah, well, you're hating it. sorry, sweet cheeks, you picked the wrong college to go to. And if you don't like it, well, have a talk with your administration. Luke Wanowitz, who is Jewish, and she wished the current pro-Palestinian protests were more open to people like her who criticize Israel's war policies but believe there should be an Israeli state. This sounds like a very confused child. Just saying, very confused child. I would desert if I knew you were going to be my escort. That's awesome. That's awesome. JD Iron Fan, Iron Rabbit would beat you down, son. no car to take away, just trade school and pizza rolls at mom's house. Yeah. There's a push for this kind of crap to happen. Doesn't mean it's gonna stop any of the little protests. It will continue on. It's not going to go away anytime soon. And of course, we will see this stuff will become top headlines, but it really doesn't matter because it's not going to change. It's not going to change who these people are or the way that they're acting. They're acting like petulant little children. They will continue to act like little petulant children. But then, of course, it takes away from things like this. How Republican-led states far from the U.S.-Mexico border are rushing to pass tough immigration laws. Oh, wow. Finally. Republican-led states are rushing to give broader powers to local police to impose criminal penalties on those living in the U.S. illegally as the issue of immigration enforcement remains central to 2024 elections. But it wasn't the past couple of weeks. Actually, it hasn't been the past month. They sort of, as soon as they said, no, we're not funding this Ukraine bullshit, that, the border just disappeared. Any thoughts about the border just disappeared. Local police impose criminal penalties for those living in the U.S. illegally as the issue of immigration. Oklahoma's Republican Governor Stitt signed into bill on Tuesday that creates new crime of impermissible occupation, which imposes penalties such as much as 2 years in prison for being in the state illegally. Oklahoma is among several GOP-led states jockeying to push deeper into immigration enforcement as both Republicans and Democrats seize on the issue. That was illustrated in February when Joe Biden and Donald Trump both visited Biden never visited the border. He just visited a border town. Like, Donald Trump was there at the border. He was actually waving to people across the border that recognized him. They're like, hey, you're Donald Trump, eh? I was like, yep, good to see you. Keep your ass over there. Both visited U.S. Mexico border the same day and tussled from a distance over blame. No, that's the thing. Trump never tussled with anybody. He just showed up and said, this is what you get. This is the kind of bullshit that you're going to see happening. And this is broken. And what Biden wants to do as compared to what Trump wants to do are not too far off, except the one that Biden wants to do is basically usher people in and then make sure that they get processed faster. Whereas Trump is saying, no, we don't even want to let the illegals in. I mean, just saying. So what's happening in Texas? Well, lawmakers in Oklahoma followed the lead of Texas, where Greg Abbott signed a bill last year that would allow the state to arrest and deport people who enter the U.S. illegally or illegal immigrants. But that's not all that they did. No, that particular law that they're talking about is not what you think it is. Okay, that particular law that they want to have signed in. And let me be very clear on this because I did read it here. That particular law is to arrest the people that are housing or transporting people across the border. Okay. It will deport the people back to whence they came, but the people that were providing aid and service to those coming across the border, talking about like your coyotes and people that might be housing them or ushering them or putting them in, planes, trains, automobiles, bringing them across, those people would be arrested they would be tried and if convicted, if found guilty, for each person, they would be given 5 years and $1,000 fine. So imagine they bring 20 people in, 5 times 20. You do the math. That's how long they'd be sitting their ass in jail for each offense to curtail bringing people across the border. Not saying that it would stop it, but it would definitely slow the flow. That's what they wanted to do. And of course, now it is that there are gators in the water. Just warned illegals that they're gators in the water. Yes, we thank Iron Rabbit for her. Yeah, you were put down and hated for serving. It was a hard time back then. Yes. Yeah. It is. I don't blame people that served. I blame the government for doing that kind of crap. That's right. It's the coyote. Yeah. Sorry I missed a lot. I had to finish getting ready for your appointment. Will you be safe? And, best wishes to you. This will be, I understand the feeling of not wanting to be there. What does the Oklahoma bill do? Well, let's read the Oklahoma bill before we listen to the AP, because the AP has been very wrong and misinterpreting and misreporting what it actually is. Like, I suggest not to believe what they're telling you here. And I'm dead serious on this. Don't believe what they're telling you here of what the Oklahoma bill does. Go and read the bill yourself and see what the bill actually says. And this I think is the problem with AP's reporting. And I do have issues with it because it may actually say this, but I don't trust them because of this that they said up here. What they said up here is incorrect. Partially true, but it's not completely true, because Section 5 is something completely different. What they're talking about here makes me suspect that that's not completely or entirely true, because they didn't read the bill. They got their talking points, and that's as far as it goes. This is the problem that I have with things that they say as compared to actually reading the bill itself. Oklahoma law, which takes effect July 1st, makes it illegal to remain in the state without legal authorization, with a first offense and a misdemeanor punishable by as much as a year in jail. Violators would be required to leave the state within 72 hours of being released from custody. The second and subsequent offense would be a felony punishable, but that just makes no sense. How are they supposed to leave if they're incarcerated? Okay, so once they get released, how are they supposed to leave? See, that's why I'm saying there's something missing in their reporting, because if they're taking this literally as the law is written, how are you supposed to leave? Because you've basically been incarcerated. It probably takes you a good, 72 hours to figure out where in the hell everything is. You haven't been in, if you've been in jail for a year, you don't have any money. How are you supposed to get out? It sort of seems, like I said, something doesn't sound right about this. It sounds wrong. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'll update you later if I can catch you live. Oh, excellent. That'd be great. Please do. Please do. Let us know how things go. Oh, now they call them the Hispanic community. I love it. I want our Hispanic community to rest assured that this law does not give law enforcement the authority to profile individuals or question them about their immigration status without reasonable suspicion of a crime. So, if you listen to what he's saying that basically we're not going to go seeking you out, but if you get pulled over and the police officer is running a background check on you because you got pulled over, and he says, "Can I see your driver's license?" and your name is Julio Iglesias, and it shows your address, doesn't show that any sort of immigration status. You realize you were speeding. Yes, I was speeding. Okay, here's your ticket for speeding. That's it. That's as far as it's going to go. He shouldn't be doing any sort of background check on you. Now, if you, in the if you basically get in a car accident and you delete a couple of people while in doing so, and they arrest you, and then once they do a background check on you, they go, oh, this guy is here illegally. Guess what? Then in the commission of a crime, they will arrest you, and this law kicks into effect also. That's what he's saying. Doesn't mean just because you were breaking the law, doesn't mean, just a speeding ticket. Probably not. Doing something a little bit more nefarious, more than likely. Senate pro tempore Greg Treat, who carried the bill in the Senate, voiced frustration in the federal government and Congress for not taking more definitive steps to solve the immigration problem. Illegal immigration. Get it right, because you're confusing the fucking words. It is illegal immigration. There's a big difference between immigration and illegal immigration. They need to start putting this out and making it very clear the differences between the two. Immigration is immigration. My grandparents were immigrants. Both sides were immigrants to the United States. Well, actually, on my father's side, that would be my great-grandfather would have been an immigrant. My grandfather was not. On my mother's side, both my grandparents were, grandfather, grandmother on my father's side were immigrants, like straight off the boat kind of immigrants. Big difference. They were here legally as compared to someone coming here illegally. Big difference. The federal government has failed. The U.S. Congress, they have done nothing to impact it, which doesn't matter. So what can they do? We can say you have to be here legally in Oklahoma. There you go. Outside the state capital, more than 100 people, only more than 100, gathered last week in opposition to the bill. Sam Wargan Grimaldo, 36, an attorney from South Oklahoma City whose mother emigrated from Mexico in 1979, urged those who rallied to register to vote and become more politically engaged. Okay, so his mother was an immigrant. She got here legally. Maybe. Is that what you're saying? Your mom's here illegally? So do we need to send her back? Or did she use an anchor baby? I don't know. What's happening there? 1979, huh? Grimaldo said, oh, well, Grimaldo, I'm surprised you didn't call them Latinx. Many Latinos in Oklahoma are frightened about the new law, as they should be. How about the Latinos that are here illegally should be frightened about the new law? We feel attacked. Well, said Grimaldo, wearing a shirt that read, Young Latino and Proud. Well, you feel attacked, yet you wear a shirt that says, attack me. I don't understand. People are afraid to step out of their houses if legislation like this is proposed and then passed. Now that's taking it to the extreme. What are other states doing? Tennessee, Bill Lee signed a bill requiring law enforcement agencies to communicate with federal immigration authorities if they discover people are in the country or being illegal immigrants. There you go. And it would broadly mandate cooperation of the process, identifying, detaining, and deporting them. See nothing wrong where that bill takes effect July 1st. Another proposal there would allow sentencing enhancements up to life in prison for someone that is illegally here in the country and who commits a violent crime. Why don't they say enhancements up to life in prison for someone who commits a violent crime, and the enhancement would be for them being here illegally? Yes. Yeah. Ballstrom likes that idea. In Iowa. Yeah. I mean, put this into consideration that it is enhancement, no different than it would be an enhancement if you were committed an act of violence while using a weapon. You would get an enhancement on that particular infraction. In Iowa, Republican Kim Reynolds signed a bill this month that mirrors part of the Texas law. Another approach to the Texas-style bill is advancing in Louisiana. Idaho lawmakers considering the similar measure. Georgia lawmakers passed a bill that seeks to force jailers to check immigration status, part of the continuing political response to the killing of a nursing student on the University of Georgia's campus by a Venezuelan man. It wasn't alleged. He was caught. Yeah. That's going to be an interesting case. I doubt they will be showing that one live. And of course, you've got Joe Biden that's saying, I mean, he was an immigrant. It was Trump that caused this. Yeah. Racisms. Georgia lawmakers passed bill. Florida DeSantis signed a bill last month to increase prison and jail sentences for illegals if they're convicted of felonies or driving without a license. See, the words really matter. What happens next? Like Texas's new law, many of the bills are almost certain to face legal challenges because illegal immigration is a federal, not a state issue under the U.S. Constitution. But if that is the case, then Maracas should be convicted, thrown in prison for treason. Just saying. The whole system is a mess. System is broken. But the Constitution says that the states will handle state issues and the feds handle federal issues. This will ultimately end up at the Supreme Court if I'm a betting person. Of course, I'm a betting person, and I hope that it does. But of course, what happens whenever people like this start making these things, wanting them to go away, wanting things to change, wanting it to become a little bit better? Well, then, of course, here, Mr. Potato Head shows up. U.S. Mexico will boost deportation flights and enforcement to crack down on illegal immigration. Joe Biden and Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador are moving swiftly on new steps to crack down on illegal immigration. See, you need to stop putting this crap in here, AP, because just because you want to change the words does not change what it is. Fuck me sideways. Including tougher enforcement on railways, buses, and airports, as well as increased repatriation flights for illegals from both U.S. and Mexico. How about send their asses back to once the country it is that they're getting through? If you are looking for asylum status, you are supposed to stop in the first country that you come to. If they don't want you there, then they will send your ass back. That's how you're supposed to seek asylum. You don't bring your ass, all the way across the entirety of Mexico to the United States, being well fed and looking none worse for wear. Just saying. The two leaders previewed the measures in a statement following a call on Sunday, which centered on their joint efforts to effectively manage illegals crossing into the United States. Biden and Lopez said they are directing their national security aides to immediately implement concrete measures. I'm thinking, about 30 minutes of quick dry. That's concrete enough. John Pussy-ass Kirby, the White House national security spokesman, said the U.S. and Mexico will increase enforcement measures that would prevent major modes of transportation from being used to facilitate illegals to the border. What? They would be doing this? Oh, is that how they got here? As well as a number of repatriation flights that would be returning illegals to their home countries. Get it right, AP. Get it freaking right. Kirby also said U.S. and Mexico would be responding promptly to disrupt the surges. Arrests at the U.S.-Mexico border have actually declined in recent months because you keep letting our asses in, countering the usual seasonal trends that now show illegals tend to climb as well as weather conditions improve. U.S. officials have credited Mexican authorities who have expanded their own enforcement efforts for the decrease. Well, because it's a freaking election year and you've just been letting them flood in as quickly as you could possibly do it. I may have to leave Michigan and bring Chippy with me. There you go. The teamwork is paying off, Kirby said, but now we recognize May, June, July, as things get warmer. Historically, these numbers have increased. We're just going to continuously stay at work with the Mexican authorities. Arrests are up sharply in April on at least one part of the border, San Diego, which appears to have emerged as the busiest corridor for illegals. Arrests in that area totaled 9,513 in the week ending Friday, in the third straight increase from 6,600. We're getting more illegals here than they're getting tourists in Afghanistan. On a daily basis, we get more than they get in a year in Afghanistan. Thinking I know a wonderful place that we could send them. They need tourists. Why spend a flight, send them back to Venezuela to have them come all the way back, or once country they came from? Just send them over to Afghanistan. That's all you got to do. Plenty of room over there. They need tourists. Fresh steps come as Biden deliberates whether to take executive action that would further crack down on the number of illegals arriving at the U.S. southern border. Since the collapse of border legislation in Congress, since forever, the White House has not ruled out Biden issuing executive order on asylum. Sorry, I know it's asylum, but I want to say asylum rules to try to reduce the number of illegals at the border. Any unilateral action would likely lean on a president's authority under Section 212F on the Immigration and Nationality Act, which offers broad powers to block entry of illegals if the entry is deemed detrimental to national interest. But he doesn't view them like that. Hail just on. Woohoo! Oh yeah, Tammy Booker. Sounds like a plan. We talk periodically. I seek him out. He seeks me out. We chat, sniff children, whatever it is that we need to do. This Mexican leader said 2 countries have made progress in controlling off illegals by persuading many illegals not to come here illegally. He also applauded a January decision by the U.S. Supreme Court that allowed Border Patrol agents to resume cutting razor wire that Texas has installed along the border to try to deter illegals coming into the country. Yeah, but still the National Guard has jurisdiction over it. I mean, you can go and cut the razor wire, but they'll just come back and put it back up. Then you notice they haven't been talking about Eagles Pass lately. We haven't seen a big surge come through there because they're finding their way to other areas that will. And there will be another one that will come along. It will be coming along quite soon. Just be ready for it. Because about the time that all the stuff goes down in Trump's hearings and all that kind of crap, you'll hear another giant surge come rushing across, and of course, they'll be called to, because there's been another death caused by somebody coming here illegally, and of course, then it'll be just this ongoing cyclical bullshit thing that you're going to hear a bunch of. But with that, we are getting ready to close this thing up. If you guys are wanting a song, you gotta pay the piper. Pay the piper and you will get a song. But if I don't see something come across, then we'll close this bad boy down, and then we will just continue on with our day and give you guys lots of love. And as I said before, I will give you guys a freebie. But that's about it. And it'll be my choice. My choice, damn it. Oh, let's see what we got here. Let's get the art happening. I don't hit that like so hard that makes you scream. Yes, do hit the like. What I'll probably be doing is redirecting you guys over to the Baker's if he is streaming today. I thought he was streaming today. What the son of a? I know that Baker has been doing the morning stuff coming up with there it is. Nope, that's just a recap. Where is Broken Baker? Are they doing it? Are they covering the trial today? I'm pretty sure that they're doing something today. see if he's got it all set up. 19 hours. Countdown to Karen Reed's trial. Karen Reed, you should do it. Doesn't look like he's set up a stream. Is he even streaming today? Well, damn. I'll have to get that set up. Oh, there's no trial today? Okay. See, I didn't see the rest of the day. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Looks like Arkansas buddy winning is doing something. Yeah, we'll just send you guys over this because I think I talked to Mo last night and she said that she wasn't going to be doing a stream. I'm pretty positive that she said she was going to be out of commission for the day. Yeah, she will be doing one this evening, but she did mornings with Mo 22 hours ago. So yeah, she is out for the day. I think she's gonna have a video released. She may already have released a video, but she will be doing a video. So she will be doing something. And we've got, oh yeah, here we go. You get to watch this stuff live. And it is my buddy winning. He is watching all of the protests live. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redirect all you find over there to go and check this out. Oh wait, hold on. We've got it coming on. Go on, you guys. Let me get this set up here real quick. Sucks, but that is not what I'm looking for. AI art Suno. There we go. Suno. Play a song. Well, reggae song with these elements: Shizzy, Stick to the Face, Friday Night Live, Men's Race, Snoop Dogg, and something vaguely lion-like. Oh, okay. Let's see here. We're gonna do a raga. Okay, a song about Shizzy with stick to the face. Song about Shizzy with a stick to the face. Include FNL men's I hope you're spelled that right because I'm not sure if that's spelled correctly. I can't put in Snoop Dogg. I'm just saying that'll flag it right there. Something vaguely lion-like and something lion. All right. Song about Shizzy with a stick to his face, include Friday Night Live, Mensria, and something lion-like. Okay. Let's see what we get. And I will, and just for you, I will create one special for you. It's gonna have to be good though. Present. See if we get this. Share screen. No, and share. There we go. So what we have is Shizzy's reggae anthem. Let's see what we got.
Shizzy with a stick, slap in the face, FNL in the place. You can't keep up the pace. Man's on his eyes. Lion ready to chase. Rhythm flows through his face. Harmony in his embrace. Shizzy takes a stand. Spread the love and peace with his lion like a roar. Fears and worries cease. No time for hatred. Only love is released in this reggae anthem. Shizzy brings relief. Oh, Shizzy with a stick spreading good vibes. Lions roar in the air, we feel so alive.
No,
Shizzy
well,
with a stick, slapped in the face.
first one or
Left
second
in the
one?
place. He can't keep up the pace. Lens in his eyes, lion ready to chase. Rhythm flows through his veins, harmony in his embrace. Shizzy takes a stand, spreading love and peace with his lion-like raw fears and what he sees. No time for hatred, only
Yeah, I
love
agree.
is released in this radiant. Shizzy
All right.
with a stick, slapped in the face.
There we go. So we'll do the we'll do number one there. I agree. Number one was much better. All right. So let's see. How about a let's see. What shall we have? How about West Coast surfing music about idiots that take over buildings and disrupt college campus, college. How about idiots that take over buildings and disrupt college campuses because they ran out of hot pockets, because they ran out of hot pockets in their mommy and, well, they don't have daddies out of their mommy's basements. How's that? That look good? What do you want, Pam? West Coast vibes? Yeah, we'll get a good one here. We'll create this one. A song about Mo? Oh yeah. How about Hooray First Day of May? Yes. Shizzy rap song. Shizzy my dizzy rap song. Love it. I love it, guys. All right, here we go. It is create. What did it say? Did it tell me that it's not going to do it? I don't know. Something happened with Suno. I think. Did it? I don't know. Did I wasn't looking at it. Maybe it probably credited it back. Said I. West Coast surfing music about idiots that take over buildings and disrupt college campuses because they ran out of hot pockets in their mommy's basements. Flagged for moderation about children. And that take over buildings and disrupt college campuses because they ran out of hot pockets in mommy's basement. It might say because the hot pockets might be flagging it. Something Beach Boys kind of. Yeah. It's because I put in idiots. There we go. Surf's Up Rebellion.
Catch a wave, ride high, kids are rising. Oh my, from the basements they emerge with a hunger ready to surge. Campus halls they invade, protesting till the game is played. Hot pockets gone, their cry rings loud, rebellion's on.
Well, let's see what the next one is.
Catch a wave, riding high, kids are rising. Oh my, from the basements they emerge with a hunger ready to surge. Campus halls invade, protesting till the game is played. Hot pockets gone, their cry.
I like the first one better.
Catch a wave, ride high, kids are rising.
Yeah, well, I like the first one better.
Oh my.
Yeah, it needs to be let's see. West Coast surfing see, West Coast surfing. I can do better. West Coast surfing, West Coast surf. Like I'm looking more for that Dick Dale kind of West Coast surf music. About petulant children that take over buildings and disrupt college campuses because they ran out of hot pockets. Let's see, what they've been about. Fast, upbeat, surf music about petulant children as they take. Let's create this. See if we come up with a better one. Hot pockets taste bad too. I don't know. Second is faster, but missing it. Exactly. I'm with you on that. And I've got Pam. Thank you very much, Pam. I appreciate you. Oh, you like the first one, West Coast vibes? Yeah, that one I agree. Rebellion on campus. Okay. Yeah, I like that one better.
Disrupting the campus, causing a riot with their signs and the shouting, no peace and quiet. They're demanding change, but they're causing a mess. Their petulance and entitlements simply attest.
We're gonna take this. We're gonna take this in West Coast vibes.
Petulant children with nothing to say, building takeovers.
Let's do this. We'll use this prompt. We're gonna go for West Coast vibes. I think we can do better. West Coast vibes. I mean, that's better. It's just missing it, though. Yeah, we're wanting something a little more Beach Boy-ish.
I'm a real nigga starting the children.
Oh, I thought I said something else.
Causing a fuss, taking over buildings.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like he's.
Real nigga starting the children. Causing a fuss, taking over buildings.
I like this one.
Causing such a fuss, no more hot pockets. They've had enough. Their mommy's basement just wasn't enough. Disrupting the campus, causing a riot with their signs and their shouting. No peace and quiet, they're demanding change, but they're causing a mess. Their petulance and entitlement simply a test.
All right, not that one. So far, I'm liking this one. And that's not even my style of music. It works really well. Challenge. Going to a May Day first challenge. We'll get the May 1st in there for you guys too.
Petulant children causing a fuss, taking over buildings, causing such a fuss. No more hot pockets, they've had enough.
I like that.
Petulant children causing a fuss, taking over buildings, causing such a fuss. No more hot pockets, they've had enough. And mommy's basement just wasn't enough.
That's so bad. I like the first one better.
Children causing a fuss.
Yeah, but still, I'm saying I think this is the best one.
Causing a fuss, taking over buildings.
There we go. Yeah, that's the one. I'm gonna keep that one there. That's a keeper. All right. So what we've got here is what style of music would you like for May 1st? Let's fill your Hot Pocket. This is more on point. Yep, you like that one. Both are pretty good. Hot Pockets was like lava burning in your mouth. Yeah. Totally thought that was yeah, I thought it was too. I was like, Wall of Sound. Like Wall of Sound. What do we got to a sea? Oh, okay. Sea shanty. How about a Mayday death metal swing? Okay. All right. This is like it's fun. So we're gonna do a sea shanty. Let's see. Sea shanty. Swing and sea shanty with metal guitars. Get if I could spell guitars right. Okay, swing and sea shanty with metal guitar with let's see, heavy metal guitar solos. Heavy metal. Damn it. Metal. Damn it. Full guitar solos. About heavy metal guitar solos about the first day of May. There we go. And we'll create it. Let's see what happens. Some shagging music? Yeah. Yeah, I could do with some shagging music. That would be pretty good. My wife's parents, that's something that they used to do in when they were going to college, was they would go and shag.
Storm clouds gather, the wind starts to sway on the first day of May. We set sail today, raise the anchor, hoist the mast, we'll cover the sea with heavy metal guitar solos and piracy. Storm clouds gather, the wind starts to sway on the first day of May. We set sail today, raise the anchor, hoist the mast, we'll cover the sea with heavy metal guitar solos and piracy. Sailor shanty swinging into the beach, metal guitar shredding with each raging fleet. A ship of chaos fueled by our fierce might, mayhem on the high seas under the moonlight. Red danger flows with swing in the ribs, we conquer waves, let the guitars ring with rubies grace.
Death metal swing would be fun.
Sails unfurling, wave a merry hello. In this swinging shanty, let the good times flow on the first day of May.
Our sails unfurling, wave a merry hello. In a swinging shanty, let the good times flow on the first day of May. We're setting sail to a land of rhythm where dreams won't fail. The sun is shining, casting golden beams. As we dance on deck, a sight that gleams with each step we take.
First day of May.
The ocean sings along a chorus of laughter, a merry sailor song. Swing to the left, swing to the right. May days here and our spirits take flight. It's swinging shanty, we're one merry
That's okay. Can't do it. I'll explain why you can't do it. So Disney style, whenever you say Disney style song, it'll automatically flag it. It won't let you do it. I know for a fact it won't do it, but I could make it a children's song about the story of the Titanic, but everyone lives because of the mermaids. I might be able to do that, but Disney, it won't let you do that.
It was unfair, all the ships set course on the first day of May with no remorse. Raising anchor, we set sail with might, a crew of chaos ready to ignite.
I like that one.
Beware the storm on the horizon, crashing waves. Our sails unfurl, the ship sets course on the first day of May. With no remorse, raising anchor, we set sail with might, a crew of chaos ready to ignite. Beware the storm on the horizon, crashing waves, lightning strikes, no compromise. With cutlasses gleaming, we claim our name, mayhem on the high seas, fueling the flame. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rage, mayhem on the
I like that.
unleashed from the cage. Yo ho, we're destined to fight. Hear
For battle cry.
echoing through the night.
I like this one. That would.
It was unfair, all the ships set course
I like this
on the
one,
first
too.
day of May with no remorse.
That one I'll do for
Raising
Volstorm.
anchor, we set sail with might, a crew of chaos ready to ignite. Beware the
Yeah, number
storm
one is
on the
best. I agree.
horizon, crashing waves, lightning strikes, no compromise.
All right, let's do this. We're going to really test the AI.
On the high seas, fueling the flame. Yo ho ho, and a bottle of rage, mayhem on the high seas, unleashed from the cage. Yo ho ho, we're destined to fight. Hear our battle cry, echoing through the night.
All right. Save it for tomorrow. We'll do more tomorrow. Yeah. I see son. Well done, AI. Well done.
And a bottle of rage, mayhem on the high seas, unleashed from the cage. Yo ho ho, we're destined to fight. Hear a battle cry, echoing through the night. Elves unfurling, wave a merry hello in this swinging shanty.
Still
Let
like
the
that one.
Good times flow on the first day of May. Our sails unfurling, wave a merry hello in a swinging shanty. Let the good times flow on the first day of May.
There we go.
Sailing high on the open sea,
Okay.
a ship so grand as it may.
Huh.
Sailing high on the open sea, a ship so grand as it makes history. But
Why does
the
it keep
night
showing
is
pop?
dark and the water's cold. Little did they know a tale was about to unfold. Passengers dreaming of a brand new
About
start.
a sing along.
The fate had a twist to tear them apart. And from the depths of magical sight, mermaids Signs appeared to guide them through the night. The
Sing along style.
so doomed and bleak, but the mermaid song gave the passengers a peek of hope and love. In the ocean's embrace, together they would conquer.
Let's see what happens. If we can get a sing-along on this one. Crooners. Yeah, the crooners. Put in Viking for Valhalla. There you go. Jesus.
The ship so grand as it made, sailing on the open sea, bound for a destiny we couldn't see. A ship called Titanic, legend in its sailing on the open sea, bound for a destiny we couldn't
Don't like
see.
any of these.
A ship called Titanic, legend in its name.
Aw.
Little do we
Is this a
know
Titanic
things
song?
wouldn't
Yeah.
be the same. On a
Looking for
cold
Valhalla.
April night, the stars did shine. The wind was blowing, a sign of the time. But in the distance,
it's
we heard a
not like in any of them.
call, guiding us through, saving us.
I guess that could be a
from
Disney style
fall.
song.
Sailing on the open sea, bound for a destiny we couldn't see.
Nope. Make me want to sink slowly below the frozen sea.
Legend in its name. Little did we know, sailing high on the open sea.
Yeah, I mean, these are like Disney style music.
On the open sea.
That could be it.
So grand as it makes history.
Yeah, I mean, you asked for it. That was really pushing the AI. I mean, you really want to push the AI. Sing along metal song or something like that. I've got a better one. A shagging song. Nah, we'll save that for tomorrow. We'll save that for tomorrow. Needs more bagpipes. Oh, you think it needs more bagpipes for this one? The sea shanty
Our
song.
sails unfurl, the ship sets course on the first day of May. With no remorse, raising anchor, we set sail with might. A crew of chaos ready to ignite. Beware the storm on the horizon, crashing waves, lightning strikes, no compromise.
Something like that. But you know how this works. Peace, y'all.
Now I gotta call somebody to come get me because my car is turned into a spaceship and I don't know how to fly it. I'm not an astronaut.